Hello and welcome to the Boost Over Ball podcast, your go-to place for everything Rocket League with your hosts, K-Cube, AJ Binky, and Red. So lean forward, lock in, and get ready to go Boost Over Ball.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Boost Over Ball podcast. To listeners new and old, hello and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I'm here with AJ Binky and Red, and we're going to be talking today about Zen's tweet. A little bit of drama that kind of came from that, Psyonix's response to that, and what it means. Before we jump into Open Qualifier number 4 for NA, and teams making the Swiss stage, our predictions, and more before taking you around the world. Then heading back for Red's roster rumors or news, and finishing off with some Rocket League news in general. AJ, you wanna let us know what Zen tweeted?
Yeah, so he tweeted at Psyonix Studio. The studio behind Rocket League needs to break the silence. Millions owed to pro players, servers being DDoSed and ranked, and lackluster communication. It's time to invest in those driving esports and evolve for the community's sake.
That is some pretty strong words from, what a lot of people would kind of consider to be the golden boy of Rocket League. He made the Forbes 30 under 30 list in for gaming. He's the reigning world champion. Definitely one of the most known worldwide Rocket League figures. And to have him tweeting about that takes notice, because the official RL Esports account tweeted back the same day and said, "Hey everyone, we've been seeing some active discussions surrounding RLCS that we want to address. There have been some delays in RLCS tournament prize processing for Rocket League, but all potential prize winners have been contacted or are scheduled to be contacted. Each potential prize winner's unique situation, e.g. age, global location, local laws, additional tax withholdings, etc., can affect the exact process they go through and the timeline to receive their prize. Players who are potential prize winners can always reach out to player support if they have any prize issues so they can be investigated by our team here." And they link epicgames.com/help. Red, what are your initial thoughts on this whole saga?
So, it's always tough because we've seen issues with paying players before, not just with Psyonix, but like there's the whole G1 situation with women's carball. And that's a problem in esports in general. You'll see it across every esport. CSGO's had its moments. Apex, I'm sure, has had its moments. All these other esports. But I guess the only thing that it's your generic corporate response. They recognize the issue. And they're saying that they're working on it and that you can expedite the process by submitting a ticket. The one thing that did kind of seem a little like, I don't know, it was a little odd, is that they just linked the standard help page. It seems like that seemed more just kind of like to push the issue to the side than to actually try to get the issue rolling. But I do believe that after their response, they did start paying people out and start actively seeing results from some players. So good on them to not make it just a corporate response and then nothing happens, as we see it from a lot of corporations nowadays. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I don't know, and we don't know what we don't know, so we can only speculate. But, tax day in the United States was April 15th. So we're, a little over a week removed from that. And, it's possible that, they're a San Diego-based company. It's possible that maybe they had something to do with that. It's possible that there were, with lowering the age requirements to 13, it's potentially possible that it was even harder to get around some of the European age restrictions for, child labor laws and things like that. But, it's, I don't know if it's exciting to see or if it's refreshing to see that they had a response so quick. Even if it was AI generated cookie cutter, potentially, corporate robot response, it was still a response. That's more than we've seen from them in the past when they, were facing some criticism, especially during the off season. We were kind of, there were times even on the show that we were just begging for them to say something, anything, something like this, right? Like, hey, we're still working on it. We haven't forgot about you. Like, things are coming. Like, saying things without actually saying anything is not a bad thing.
I feel like everything in this reply is fantastic, except for the last paragraph. Like, it feels like they're almost putting blame on the players for not having reached out about it. And I'm sure they all have, you know? Like, it. And like you said, the only link they drop is epicgames.com/help. Like, the most generic, like, help link thing they could do. But
I mean, is it
I
possible though
do
that,
think
that
the
like
first 3 paragraphs are great.
is it possible though that, like, they're not actually going to put the link for specifically what they're talking about, because then anybody could reach out, right? So like maybe like if players reach out to that directly, they get filtered into a different help system, or they get priority, or whatever.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be, but at that point, then why would you not put something of like, please reach out to this Twitter account or some like contact, and not a just.
I mean, chances
fill
are
out a
they made
ticket.
like an announcement in like the pro Discord or something like that.
Yeah,
And they're
that's
just
I would hope,
putting
yeah.
this here to
calm the
show
masses.
people. Yeah, exactly.
That's fair. But I mean, regardless of the last paragraph being not amazing, still I kind of feel like good comms. I feel like this is another continued step in the right direction. If they were this forthcoming with information, then I think a lot of the issues that they've had in terms of transparency would be moot, and I think people would have been a lot less upset with them to start the season. But with that, we have now ended officially our off season between Major 1 and the start of the second or Major 2 split, or second half of the season, or whatever you want to call it. We had some qualifiers this weekend. So starting out, and the main focus of this episode will be on NA Open qualifier number 4. So we have teams that have gone through the single and the double elimination bracket, and your teams making the top 16 are, in no particular order, G2, Moist, OG, TSM, Gen G, Space Station Gaming, Luminosity, Shopify Rebellion, Cloud9 making their return to Rocket League, the Snowmen, Cloverity also coming back to Rocket League, Deleted XD, M80, Cheers, NRG, and Nether Canada, which I looked into it. There's one player from the Netherlands, one player from America, and one player from Canada on that team. But most notably, some names that you may have not heard and we're waiting to hear. Incorrect, who we saw make 2 regionals last split. Young Whippersnappers, who we've seen take games off NRG. But most notably, Dignitas. Dignitas not making the regional, and that makes Arsenal he fails to qualify for a main event for the first time since season 7.
Who did they lose to?
They lost to I believe they lost twice.
Yeah.
So the first time
Let's see.
they lost to,
I'm just gonna search Dignitas.
they lost to Triple Threat. Yep. And then they lost to NRG.
Triple Threat and Energy. Okay.
Yeah. NRG in 5 to qualify,
Who's Triple Threat?
and Triple Threat being
They lost to Moist, unfortunate.
Yeah, Triple Threat being T. Carell, Tivus,
Oh, right. Okay.
Varisto, and Talk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, and Triple Threat came up and then got swept by Moist. So,
yeah,
an unfortunate result for Dignitas there against Triple Threat. And, so we have one thing I should also mention: G2, Moist, OG, TSM, Gen G, Space Station, Luminosity, and Shopify all qualifying through the upper bracket, while Cloud9, Snowmen, Cloverity, Deleted, M80, Cheers, NRG, and Netherlands Canada qualifying through the lower bracket. So, Red, what are your thoughts on this group of teams that we got here?
First thing is I love seeing all these big orgs going to Rocket League finally. Great to see Cloud9 back finally. It only took Squishy Muffins retiring. Um, and then seeing Moist in NA now is a bit weird. Gonna take some getting used to on that one.
I'm a fan. I
I'm
love it.
such a fan. Um,
A soul
but
for a
I'm
soul.
excited for it. It is tough. It is gonna be tough picking top eights from here on out
I think it is.
there's
Yeah.
12 orgs here, and I'm like, any given day, 12 of these 16 easily make top eight, and I'm just like,
think
I don't know what to
actually a
do.
mistake.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool to see all of the org representation. It's cool to see, still like the snowmen, Frosty reveals Scribbles to have an impact. Cool to see Cheers, coached by Adam Baguette. And I mean, for NRG fans and for people who have been doubting the Aqua roster move from NRG, they're able to stave off the haters for a little bit here as they're able to qualify. I still don't know if they're going to be able to compete at the top level, but good for them for qualifying. A soul for a soul, kinda, with Squishy Muffins leaving and Cloud9 returning. But looking at and obviously the return of Moist in NA for the first time, which is exciting for Moist Critical, Rizzo, and all fans of Moist in general, picking up the old Pirates on a Boat roster. But if you guys had to predict a top 8 from starting from these 16 teams, who are you picking?
So my top 8 right now, I have G2 Space, like no order, no particular order. There's just teams making top 8. I got G2, SSG, Luminosity, Gen G, TSM, M80, OG, and Moist.
Okay.
And mine, in a very specific order: G2, Moist, TSM, Gen G, SSG, Luminosity, M80, Cloud9. I lied, there was no order.
Okay. And like both of you, I also have G2 and Moist. I have TSM, Gen G, Space Station, Luminosity, OG, and C9.
I don't know, man. The C9,
So I
like
have
I wanna
M80.
I wanna have the C9 Hopium there, but
Oh, you have M80 too.
it's not. I mean, I'm curious how big of a buff the C9 buff is to that roster.
I mean,
Is
I would agree. I feel like they almost took down G2. We saw Omelet almost take down G2.
mm-hmm.
So, is it going to be enough for them to kind of do anything for them? I don't know. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. They just took up the whole roster, so awesome to see Cloud9 back. Also congratulations to Hercules. We talked about her a little bit last episode. Or in our major, recap and all the good work that she did, but she becomes a content creator for Cloud9. But, I would love to see it. Personally, we've kind of seen some of the ups and downs and some of the drama with Claverity and with Deleted. So, it's yet to be seen about those new rosters and, which M80 are we going to see? Is it Swiss M80 of the first 2 events, or is it, playoff M80 that we're going to see? So hopefully they have it figured out. Hopefully another, a quote unquote small off season in a month off basically for them has allowed them to re-gel as a team and kind of, reinvigorate the roster. But, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But do you guys have anything further to add about the NA Open Qualifier 4 before we jump around the world?
Nothing here.
Nether Lamera Canada is the best name.
Yeah, I would agree. But
Yep, that's it.
the last thing before we jump, if you had to pick a winner, who are you picking?
G2.
Same.
G2 all the way.
Same for me.
Oh.
AJ?
Yeah, G2.
Yeah. Until we see otherwise. That's what I'm going with. But
That's what we said about Vitality too, though.
yeah, this is true. That's what we said about KC too, but they won it. So
Yeah.
well, here we are. But it's now time to take us around the world of Rocket League, where we can look in on some of the other results from other regions. And for today, we got 3 other regions that had their open qualifiers, a single and double elimination. I will start us off with Sam. Teams making the top 16 are Furia, Complexity, Timeless, Erased, Gamer Legion, W7M Esports, Normai, Barcelona, Hero Base, Ninjas in Pajamas, Not Exposed, Died for Our Sins, Team Secret, Crew, Red, and Luck Esports.
Nice.
So with that, when we go around the world, we gotta do it. What is your vote for best name from this top 16?
Well, I feel like my answer is pretty easy. Obviously, the best name is Red. That's just kind of a no-brainer for me.
No
so.
bias or anything.
Yeah, no bias, whatever. Totally just the creative levels are off the charts. It's catchy, it's short, it's simple.
That's a fair point.
Nah, objectively, Ninjas in Pajamas.
Okay. I might have to go Died for Our Sins. I think that's kind of funny.
It is a good one, yeah.
But and then if you had to predict a winner, who are you picking?
Furia.
Yeah.
I will go Complexity with the pickup of Diaz. I like their odds.
That's fair.
Okay. Who wants to take Mina here?
I can rattle off Mina here. So teams making top 16. We got Team Falcons, Rule 1, Sleeping, NTNR, Team Rock, Nightmare, 404 Error, Let Them Cook, Twisted Minds, Bravado Gaming, Dragons Esports, WFS, Vision Esport, R8 Esports, Oreo, and Atlantic. And of course, best name. What we thinking is the best name for Mina?
My vote's for Let Them Cook.
Let them cook.
I'm going 404 Error.
Yeah, I was just thinking 404 Error. I'm a fan.
Name not found.
I also like
Yeah.
Oreo and Atlantic, though.
So we will talk about Oreo again here in a second. But if you have to pick a team to win, who are you picking?
Falcons, easily.
Falcons.
Yeah. Yeah, Falcons.
Okay. So AJ, you want to take us away with SSA?
Supersonic Africa. We got Limitless, Astronic Squillcast, Skill Quest, Strascubiddy, Bird, Unknown Goats, STM, Reverse Oreo, Trifecta, Team Mobula, Nine Lives Esports, Vendetta Esports, Drift Queens, Snake's Den, The Elites, Gene 6, and White Rabbit Gaming.
So we have to talk about it. So first, no World of Tanks,
Yep.
no Shmongolia.
No Shmongolia.
Well, just in name, no Shmongolia. But
Right.
so the next question that I have before we give out best name, or reverse Oreo, whereas in Mina you have just regular Oreo. Do you think that's a coincidence, or do you think that they were cooking
gotta
they
be
were
a
cooking
coincidence.
something there?
There's got to be a coincidence, right? No, it can't be.
So the Oreo from Mina is 3 Saudi Arabian players. Geez, Saudi Arabian players, and reverse Oreo is going to be 2 South African players and a Hungarian South African player.
Huh. It's just got to be just one of those. We'll do the opposite of their team name ones. Most likely, I've seen so many where it's like people will do, something like, uh, Mina would be like sleeping and they'd be like awake, or they just like find some team name and just do the opposite of them. I've seen that a lot in quals.
That's funny.
Yeah, but in SSA, Unknown Goats, Team Mobula, Astronic Skill Quest, and Straskabidi. Trifecta has one, but like not a full team. Drift Queens are all foreign teams playing in SSA. Trifecta has 2 SSA players and 1 player from the United Kingdom. So I'll count it, right? It's a South African player, a Moroccan player, and someone from England. So, but with now that we've gotten that out of the way, happy to see as much representation in SSA from SSA as we did in our last events. So excited for that. Let's get the easy one out of the way first, and that's who is your winner in this event?
Probably still just gonna go Limitless. I don't know much about the SSA scene, but I would imagine Limitless will be able to defend the region.
I know enough about the SSA region, and it's going to be Limitless.
I would have to agree. Limitless
Makes my
sweep
pick
on
feel
that one.
better.
Yeah, they Limitless ended their major run without a series win. However, they did have a series against Elevate in like after the major, not associated with that, and they swept Elevate. So I'm feeling pretty good about Limitless as they continue to kind of come into their own as a team as SSA continues to flourish and flesh out the rest of their region to become even more competitive on the world stage. So I think I like Limitless in this one especially. But now we got to go for a harder one, I think, without World of Tanks and Shmongolia on this. But that's best name.
Nah, it's not hard. I'll wait till last.
Oh,
Best name. I'm a fan of Drift Queens. I think that's the easily best name there.
I kind of like that one too.
Yep.
Oh, is that what you? Okay,
Let's
so
go.
another an SSA full sweep
Yep.
here.
I'm still thinking it's a play on Drag Queens, so I got to go with it.
Fair.
That is fair. So with that, we can now jump over to Red's roster rumors. Red, why don't you take it away?
Welcome back to another episode of Red's Roster Rumors. Woo! All right. Anyways,
Wait. We need to find a soundboard to play.
A jingle, like
Yeah.
some jingle or something. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We could definitely make this happen.
Okay.
We're gonna make it happen. Anyways, Red's Roster Rumors and recap. Starting nice and early with Cloud9 returning to Rocket League, obviously signing Omelet, which consists of Lion Blaze, Percy, and Zanil, the CRL Demons. Looking to see how well they do under the org buff. Another one going over to women's quarball, Genji Black legend Courtney finally parts ways with Genji Black. I'm not sure if she's retiring or she's just stepping away to go for a different team, but she is left. Obviously, Moist has come to NA, signing Pirates on a Boat, which consists of Eris, 5UP, and Andy. RIP Achieves, who will no longer be coaching Moist. Hopefully someone picks him up as a coach because he's a fantastic coach and analyst. Going on, mentioned earlier, Complexity replaced Dorito with Diaz. Dorito, again, has been, I think, teammates with, was it CRR on Complexity? Like 3 separate occasions now and has gotten kicked all 3 times.
I believe he's teamed with CRR in 2 separate regions.
That too. That as well.
Almost 3, but because of visa issues, they had to play in SAM.
Yep. So sucks for Dorito. Maybe he'll find another team. Dignitas going with the region transfer of Stizzy. However, as we saw from Open Qualifier 4, that wasn't the move, I guess, for them. They end up benching Evo and bring back Gyro to the scene, or not Gyro, Gyro to the scene. So interesting to see how that Dig squad performs now with Stizzy, Arsenal, and Gyro. Wild bring on Billy Vibin as their new coach. So Wild Esports getting a new coach there. Another new coach signing. Ground Zero acquire Slayer as their new assistant coach and analyst. Also, they acquire a player in Lunar as a new player for Ground Zero. Next, we got more retirement info. Twisted Minds Senzo announces a retirement from the Rocket League scene. Sad to see him go, being a pretty notable member of the MENA community. But as we all know, once you start getting older, it gets harder to play in Rocket League, and sometimes things get in the way, and you just gotta step away. Next up, we got Scrub, Shores, and Gus form Kib Gang for RLCS OC quals. Interesting to see how Scrub performs there. And finally, TSM hire a new coach in Eclipse to round out their roster for North America. And that is all I have for Red's roster rumors. Back to you two.
So TSM hiring a coach, that's a pretty big deal. They previously did not have one for the last split. It was Creams that was leading VOD reviews and playing the role of coach in that aspect. So interested to see if they get like a coaching buff out of that. So that'll be one to look forward to and watching this weekend in Swiss Stage. A lot of OCE news with Ground Zero kind of making some moves, and good to see Scrub getting back on a team, even if he made his own team there. But cool to see Moist in NA for the first time. Cool to see Cloud9 make their return. We'll have to wait and see how those rosters turn out. But AJ, does any of those moves stick out to you more than the others?
No, not really.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Now for our last segment before we wrap up for this episode, some news from around Rocket League that didn't quite fit into roster rumors or roster recaps. First and foremost being previous women's Carball owner G1 is being sued for failure to repay a $100,000 loan. The lawsuit is being brought forward by Destiny 2 content creator Jake Strauss against Kenny Vaccaro, the owner of G1, for failure to repay a $100,000 loan. We've previously had people like Cat Jeans, on the pod talking about their time at G1 and, kind of some of the shortcomings of the WCB stuff. And people have seen, who are active on Twitter, have seen, her responses to G1 about paying their people, paying their players, playing, all that fun stuff. So kind of seems like a little bit of karma here in terms of what is happening to G1. Secondly, we have Rocket Baguette announcing Rising League 24 with a 15,000 euro prize pool. And this is an event for French-speaking teams that will feature 2 splits, a LAN portion, and a grand finals that will happen at the Paris Games week prior to the Olympics this summer. The full event will take place from May through October. So I lied, at not during the Olympics. And so exciting to see another Rocket Baguette tournament. They're kind of the leader in grassroots Rocket League from France and in EU. And so good to see that they're continuing to foster and grow young talent. That's, where people like Zen, Rise Fox, people like that have kind of come through. And last but not least, we have Tekao becoming the youngest player ever to qualify for an RLCS regional at just 13 years of age, beating out the previous record holder, Scribbles. So congratulations to Tekao, and I didn't expect to see a 13-year-old qualifying so quickly. I kind of assumed that orgs and people teaming with them would be a little bit weary of teaming with a 13-year-old, but it does not appear to be the case. So with that, do you guys have anything else that you would like to add about RL news, about any of the roster rumors, about anything Rocket League related before we wrap up for today?
Nothing here. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I guess stay tuned next episode for a new potential jingle for Red's roster rumors. We'll work on that in the background. But With that, I would like to thank everyone so much for listening. I would like to remind everyone to please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, join our Discord, and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts. Rating 5 stars really helps us out. We'd also ask you to follow our Twitch, our TikTok, and check out our merch store. We just added a host of new items, including new t-shirts and some other designs in comfort color t-shirts for the summer. So we think that you guys will really enjoy those. There's like 16 different color variations to choose from. All of these links and more, including our merch store, can be found on our website at boostoverball.com. And from us here on the show, as always, remember to choose Boost over Ball.
Thanks for listening to the Boost Over Ball podcast. Make sure to check out our website at boostoverball.com.